A complete guide to property transfer in Pakistan. Greater than as per the Contract Act 1872, someone who is eligible to sign a contract can transfer property ownership in Pakistan. Greater than according to the law. Following are the requirements of any contract. Any person under the age of 18. Individuals who are not in their conscience and they are unable to understand the consequences of their actions due to mental disability, or other similar reasons. Anyone who cannot legally sign a contract. Procedure of property transfer in Pakistan. The procedure of transferring property in Pakistan is pretty straightforward, if you have all the documents in place. Once you acquire all the credentials, you can begin your process in the following manner. Token and bayana. Token amount is the sum of money that is paid by the potential buyer to the owner/seller of the property. This sum of money is paid to indicate willingness for purchasing a property and serves as a guarantee for the property buyer. Greater than once it has been paid, the actual negotiation starts between both parties and the seller stops negotiating other potential buyers of the same property. Bayana. The token money is usually followed up with bayana, which is more or less like a token. The only thing that sets these two apart is that bayana is a written agreement, so transactions get official at this point. Greater than additionally, bayana is coupled with property sale agreement form and it includes asking value of the property, agreed by both parties, date on which the buyer is bound to pay the remaining amount, details of the property, selling terms of the property, formalities and tax payments. The next thing after bayana is to draft sale deed. You will need a stamp paper to draft the contract for sale. Note, the value of the stamp paper depends on the value of the property it concerns. Also, the buyers need to pay all due taxes. Here are the details of the payments and taxes during this step. 1% district council fee, 2% capital value tax, 3% stamp duty, 500 Pakistani rupees fixed registration. Writing and execution of the sale deed. Write down the sale deed through a professional lawyer and then for the execution of a sale deed, after gathering every document required, follow these steps. Take all the documents including the sales deed inscribed stamp paper to the sub-registrar's office. The magistrate/sub-registrar will hear both parties. If the magistrate is satisfied with the records, the transaction will be approved and the deed will be registered. The property transfer is completed after the registration of the sale deed. Now, the property is in the legal possession of the buyer. Essential documents for transferring property in Pakistan. Latest passport-size photographs of involved parties, buyer and seller. Photocopies of KNIC. Original copies of the title deed of the seller and sale deed. Note, the title deed is the document that proves the ownership of the seller. Meanwhile, the sale deed is a signed contract between both parties. These documents are considered the most important property documents in Pakistan. Greater than property transfer process requires additional documents depending on the location. FAR-e Malkiyat, mostly commonly known as FAR, is the record of rights. The form is available at the property registration office and it can be acquired by property seller. Basically, the document declares that property belongs to the seller and can serve as a guarantee at the time of property transaction. Next is No Demand Certificate, NDC, that confirms that there are no unpaid or uncleared dues on the property. This document can be obtained from the local development authority office, depending on the location of the property. Generally, properties situated within a private or cooperative housing societies also require a letter/approval from the society board. The sellers would need this document before they can execute the sale deed. Not to mention, this piece of document can act as a replacement for FAR.